Hello, Monday. Right, not much today. Start with Chris Martenson. And I think he's moved to a new website, a whole nice new website called Peak Prosperity. And it looks all very nicely presented. And if you're anyway in that way inclined, there's an awful lot of stuff there. It's a really nicely done job. He's obviously, and Mrs. Martenson, I believe, is a bit of a pusher as well. They get the job done, and they're doing very well over there. First link, Chris Martenson and Peak Prosperity. In the Financial Times this morning is they're tracking the global economic recovery indicators. It's one of these interactive charts where you can go into all sorts of stuff, but this is the overall picture. It's called the Overall Growth Index, and if one chart sums everything up for the world, this is your overall growth index. Emerging markets in orange, not much above the advanced markets in blue, making the total in red, running parallel, and the overall picture is quite clear. Things are not looking particularly clever at the moment. Oh no. Not disastrous yet. It just seems the world just needs a little shove to go down a bit quicker. But at the moment they're just wandering down there slowly. And let's finish with John Kay's website and an article that he's written called Taming the Banks, Long Overdue or Utter Folly. But for the UK this is, but it is representative of many banking systems. And I'll read to you the first three paragraphs in a bit of a John Kay voice, which you won't recognise because it won't be an imitation. But he was at the INET conference and gave an excellent speech at the INET conference, and that was one of the ones that I recommended there. I've kind of given up on synthesizing the INET conference because it dragged over too much time, and as it happened, it just started to feel old already, that the past was what it was and the whole new future is going to be something so new that won't really have much relation to the past. But this is banking past and, for the moment, present. If you think, as many still do, that the core activity of banks is gathering savings to oil the wheels of industry, then you are sadly out of date. Large businesses overall generate more than enough cash internally to cover their investment needs, but small and medium-sized businesses badly need access to bank finance. They have been woefully short of it since the credit crunch, but the amounts they need are very small relative to the current scale of financial activity. The assets and liabilities of British banks exceed £6,000 billion, that's £6 trillion, 4 times the country's income, GDP. Lending to UK businesses, to manufacturers and retailers, construction companies and road hauliers, accountants and farmers, accounts for about £200 billion, about 3% of the total. Banks contribute to the real economy in other ways. They make consumer loans, they finance property development and investment, they lend more than 1,000 billion in residential mortgages. But most of the 6,000 billion, £6 trillion of UK banks' assets and liabilities represent financial institutions trading with each other. It's just a repeat, but it's just wild that this small and medium business lending that the government at the moment is pushing the Bank of England to push money into the banks cheaply to lend, etc., etc., is 3% of the total of the lending, well, of the assets and liabilities of the British banks. 6 trillion, and only 3% goes to small and medium businesses. A lot goes to mortgages and investment in construction, but actual businesses, the big businesses, take care of themselves through cash flow and direct borrowing on the market, but small and medium businesses, only 3% of the British bank total assets. Quite incredible. Bye.